Okay, Elect of God family, welcome back. So if you guys don't know my full name, so my full name is Chiziano Ferco. So it's Chiziano Ferco, and I'll spell it out in the description, but let's get right into this video. So let's do another video about jealousy. I'm going to make a part 2 about this video. So the reason I make this video is because you probably lived your whole life, right? It could have been ever since you were young. You've always had these expectations from people, and these expectations aren't delusional or like they're really high or like they're, impossible, expectations. At Chosen One's essence, you're love. You have a spirit of love to you. You have the spirit of, because you have the spirit of God, which is love. God's essence in total is love. You have his spirit. So you've always been a person that could love easily. You've always been a person that could see through things easily. You could love very easily. And you probably have friendships with people or relationships with whoever you've had relationships with, or just in general, just seeing the world in general. And you've always come in with this expectation of love. You always come in with this expectation that people will be good, people will be loving, people will be fair, people will be, just good. People will be pleasant to be around. But you've always constantly probably fallen short. You've always fallen short with this. You've always been like, man, like why are people so different? The reason it's like this is because you don't war against flesh and blood, like the Bible says. You don't war against flesh and blood. It's from dark principalities. It's from demonic powers. It's from all this wickedness. There's a lot of wickedness in the world, and people have fallen into wickedness even when they were children. If you're a chosen one, you've probably been having kind of traumatizing situations ever since you were a child. Probably you've had friends who were wicked, who were narcissistic, who were evil, who were jealous, who were envious, who wanted you dead in a way. And actually, if you're a chosen one, you probably know this, like people have probably wanted you to die. They wanted you to suffer. They wanted you to not live. They wanted you to not prosper. They wanted you to be down in a way. So the reason that it's like this is because you are love. And you've always had this strong discernment too. You've always had this way to see people's kind of wickedness, kind of this ability to see people's iniquity in a way. You've been able to see this iniquity in people. And because you've always been like this, people have hated you. People have hated you ever since you were a child. And I bet you that your childhood was probably worse than it is in adulthood. Like your childhood was probably a lot worse. And because whenever you're a child, like you don't understand things as easily. You don't understand because you're a child. You don't have the experience of life. So whenever you were a child, you probably went in situations where when your friends hated you, friends quotation marks hated you, right? They wanted to put you down. They wanted you to be down. They wanted to spread rumors about you. They did everything they can to put you down. They put everything they can to ruin your reputation, everything they can to kill you, basically. So you've been suffering from this envy and this jealousy your whole life, and this is what I'm saying. It's not from anything materially. It's not from anything that's the world likes to put value in, right? It wasn't from wealth. It wasn't from status. It wasn't from any of these. It's from all the spirit. Because your spirit was so high, you have the spirit of God in you. You're a whole essence of love. And whenever you've gone around these people, you've always been loving. You've always been loving, and you've always seen what they do is wicked. Because majority of the world is wicked. Like, I hate to say it, but the majority of the world is wicked, because you don't fight against flesh and blood. You fight against demonic powers. You fight against dark principalities. And as soon as the enemy, the devil of this world, as soon as he sees any little vulnerability in people, he's going to look at them and be like, okay, this person has a little bit of anger in them, or this person has a little bit of wickedness in them. I'm going to feed it. I'm going to feed it. And the enemy has been using a lot of these people to put you down your whole life. It's kind of to break your spirit. It's kind of trying to break your spirit. It's kind of try to put you down and try to trick you, try to deceive you, try to manipulate your mind, and say you're not this, and say you're nothing at all. You don't matter. They say a lot of these. He says a lot of these things. He just tries to put you down because he's known you've been a threat ever since you were young. You've always been this threat. And the reason I say you've always been this threat is because you're able to see past the wickedness of the world. You're able to see it clearly. You're able to see that what people are doing is wrong. And the enemy has hated this because you're a threat to the kingdom of darkness. You're a threat to the kingdom of Satan. So because you're this big threat, the enemy has done so many things to try to put you down, try to blaspheme your name, try to get you killed. He's basically trying to get you killed. You might have if you're watching this video, you might have been a person who's even had situations where people have actually tried to kill you. And like, it's as crazy as it sounds, you might have had knives pulled out at you. You might have You might have even had people scream at you, say they're gonna kill you, or like you could have possibly had guns pointed at you and everything. And just listen to what I say over here. This I want to see your comments, because I'm sure you guys have probably had situations like this where it's been like people have tried to hurt you really bad. They've tried to just kill you, basically. And either they could have killed you your flesh, or they could have killed you physically. You've had all these situations in your life. And what I'm saying is the jealousy and envy in your life has ran rampant your whole life, and it's a spiritual jealousy. It's not a flesh and blood jealousy. It's a spiritual jealousy and envy that you've had. So throughout your whole life, you've probably been roaming the earth and like doing your own thing. You've always been a loving person. You've always had these high expectations with people that are based on love. They're not based off materials or anything. You just had high expectations for people. You just always wanted people to be good, to be loving, to be fair, to not be narcissistic, to not be manipulative, to not put people down, to not do evil things, to not do wicked things. You've always been this kind of person, and you've always had these expectations, but you've probably always fallen short from these expectations. You've been like, man, why isn't anyone like me? Or like, why can't anyone just be like good in a way? You've had these situations like, why can't people just be good? So the reason it's been like this is because you're totally different. You've been set apart by God. You've had His essence in you. You've had that spirit of love in you, and God is love. God is a loving God, and He put that spirit in you. So you're basically a bundle of love. You're literally a bundle of love, and there's no shame in this. Like because usually, I don't think any women have shame of this, but a lot of men think like they think it's cringe to be loving or anything. They think it's cringe to show any emotion, and no, it's not cringe at all. It's right. To be loving is right. That's a way of life. Because if you're not loving, it shows in the world. If there's no love in the world the world goes in shambles. The world becomes terrible. The world becomes wicked. If there's no love, the world is nothing. Because that's the essence of God. The love is the strongest possible. It's the strongest possible emotion you could have. There's nothing more superior than love. So you've always been like this. And because you've always been this loving person, you've always been this person who doesn't like to hurt people, who doesn't really get mad about how people treat them. Because you've probably been treated pretty unfairly your whole life. You never got mad because you've always had that spirit. You've always had the Spirit of God in you, the Holy Spirit in you, that calmed you down, that showed you what's actually going on. You've always had the Spirit. But people have gotten mad about the Spirit. People like, trust me when I say this, people literally hate you because you're loving, because you love yourself, because you love other people. They hate you. In their head they think, oh, why does this person look so at ease? Why does this person look so loving? Like, they hate you. There's a lot of wicked demonic people. You probably had a lot of wicked demonic people around you, and they've hated you. They've showed a lot of envy. They've showed a lot of jealousy. They've even tried to, possibly if you're watching this video, they've even tried to kill you. Maybe if you're a woman, they've done some terrible things to you I don't even want to talk about. Or if you're a man, they've done a lot of bad things to you as well. It doesn't matter what gender you are. All that matters is that you're loved, and the God of this world, the enemy, the dark principalities, the demonic forces in this world hate that love, hate that positivity. So, and a lot of people are deceived. They're devoured by the enemy of this world. They don't know what to do. They can't see clearly. Their mind is all fogged up about things that they're living in: sexual immorality, they're living in wickedness, they're living in greed, they're living in pride, they're living in impurity, they're living in a lot of bad things. And like, you've always had people like this, and it's been since you were a child. Like, this has been going on ever since you were young. And you may have even before you knew who you were, this was kind of weird to you. Probably you were kind of like, why do people act this way to me? Why am I treated so unfairly? Why do people treat me as if I'm some kind of evil, right? So the reason people treat you as if you're some kind of evil is because they project it on you. They want to trick your mind. And this doesn't come from people's own thoughts. It comes from the enemy. It comes from demonic powers. They want you to be tricked. They want you to be manipulated. They want you to live in this kind of like fog in your mind where like you don't know what's going on. They want you to not know who you are, because you're a threat to the wickedness of the world. You're a threat to these demons. You're a threat to the enemy. This is why, if you're a chosen one, this is why you've struggled so much. This is why you've gone through so many kind of situations that are kind of unfair. Kind of like, it doesn't make sense. So But at the end of the day, though, at the end of the day, you've always been delivered by God. God has just put you in the situations to show you what's going on, but He's always delivered you. He's always shown you the truth. He's always grabbed you and took you out and thrown you out of these situations. So you don't have to worry about that. Your life is in the hand of God. But the world is wicked. The world is full of demonic powers, full of demonic people who are deceived, people who do wicked things, people who like to step on people, people who like to manipulate people, people who like to be sexually immoral, people who like to just do bad things, right? And yeah, the jealousy is kind of, because there's nothing narcissistic about this video. Like, there's many people might watch this video and think, oh, you think people are jealous of you? And it's like, no, it's actually the truth. And the only thing I speak in this channel is the truth. It's true that you've had a lot of envy in your life. You had a lot of jealousy in your life. And people have probably kind of, they've just always been trying to put you down. You've always been around these people, and like, this is why people have always not appealed to your standards. You've always kind of looked at life as in like, dang, like, why can't people just like see how I see and everything? Why can't people just see how I see? And the only reason they can't see what you see is because they don't have that spirit in them. They don't have that spirit of God. You're the solution. You're the solution in the world, and you're the solution to fix the wickedness of the world. This is what a chosen one does. It fixes the wickedness of the world. You're a love. You have the essence of love in you. So you've suffered through a lot of jealousy, through a lot of hate, through a lot of wicked things. You've probably seen a lot of wicked things. You've probably gone through a lot of wicked things. You've probably gone through a lot of injustice. You've probably you've seen all the bad in this world. But at the end of the day, though, you don't break ever. You don't even break. You think you might break, but you won't break. You won't break, neither will God let you break, because His hand is on your life. He's gonna be like, nah. He's basically like, no, you're not gonna fall into this. You're not gonna fall into wickedness. You're not gonna fall into this depression that you go through. And you might be depressed for a little bit. You might be anxious for a while, but God will always lift you back up. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I wanted to make another video about jealousy, because like, jealousy, this is probably the number one thing I hate the most in this world through anything. Jealousy and envy. This is the thing I truly hate in this world the most. Jealousy and envy do so many bad things. Some people get killed because of jealousy and envy. People suffer because of it. People get treated unfairly because of it. I hate jealousy and envy with a passion, truly. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys enjoyed this video, remember, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment anything below, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed. All right, God bless you guys.